White people are racist. So I put this up because I really want any white person in the room to know up front that this is what we're dealing with, that it's not going to be this coddling of white tears and what that looks like. We're not going to discuss, oh, maybe some of us have worked it out. No, you're always going to be racist, actually. So even when you're on your path to trying to figure out how to be a better human being, because I believe that white people are born into not being human, like that actually, instead of people of color and black folks being dehumanized, that actually everyone is dehumanized off rip within white supremacy, that y'all are born into a life to not be human, and that's what y'all are taught to do, to be demons. So in this particular way, white people are all racist. So I just want y'all to know that up front.
I have with me Alicia Bryson, chairwoman of the UCLA African Student Union.
Yeah, white supremacy is this strong push for all whiteness, I guess, all white issues. And if anything, the black person, the black American is the most American individual. Without black people, we wouldn't have any part of American culture or history. We built this nation, we built this the culture surrounding what it means to be an American, and without black people, you wouldn't have the liberties that white people have or more privileged people have in America.
So you say that if it wasn't for black or African people, there would be no America?
Yeah, there wouldn't not
Meaning
be
that
America.
whites could not have found someone else to build the country?
I don't think so. So for students of color on campus, on any college campus, it's difficult, to say the least. And we also have an African diaspora floor on campus where there's been cups of feces left on the floor in our laundry room. So we've been targets for a lot of racist incidents. It's difficult for us to be triggered on the same level as white people are triggered. Last spring, there was a picture released with him throwing up a gang sign, and it triggered many students. It's difficult for us to be triggered on the same level as white people are triggered. And it triggered many students who saw that this white man, privileged white man, throwing up a blood gang sign does not connect at all to the history or what that image signifies or what the sign, the gang sign itself, carries with it.
What was on your list of demands in detail for UCLA?
Yeah, so for our first demand,
Student Information Center, they wanted $40 million for white people, an endowment for them. They wanted safe spaces for white people, just as blacks are demanding it. Would that be fine?
it would be a problem because it would be a show at least of white supremacy to have only white spaces,
That is so insane. What do you think about this school, this university, where the black student wanted a day without white people?
If anything, I see it's an aspect to create a similar environment that black people have probably felt in. Yeah, white supremacy is this strong push for all whiteness.
So you agree that white people should protect the rights of whites then, right?
No, because protecting the rights of white people means excluding other people. Protecting the rights of white people means excluding other people.
Who told you about this white privilege thing? When did you and how did you first find out about that?
I ran into a book about the experiences of students of color in higher education. I think I ran into white privilege, not necessarily in that book, but probably in a discussion, going into other people's land and stripping them of their culture,
But
taking their
too.
resources. No, they haven't.
No,
they
in
haven't
Africa,
even had
they're
access.
doing it right now.
They never even had access
In Africa,
to do
they're
that.
doing it right now. Blacks are taking land from other blacks and from whites. They're killing one another.
But if we're in Africa,
they're
that's
enslaved in
people
Africa.
taking from people. That's not black from black.
In
People
Africa.
taking from people. That's not black from black. That's not black from black.
Michelle Watson is here, and we want to have an open and honest discussion. Michelle is a community activist. Do you work with Black Lives Matter or the Black Student Union, or both?
Both,
Both?
and also the Los Angeles Black Workers Center.
Oh, okay.
Race relations is something that needs to be talked about. It needs to be addressed.
I have never, never is a strong word, I've never dealt with Racism.
It's been the Caucasian race,
We're not blaming white people for our downfall.
the Caucasian race for
So the white race
ages.
is holding you back.
No one's holding me back because
The
I
white
create
race
my
are
own.
just-
It has held this country back and held my people back. No one's holding me back because
The
I
white
create
race
my
are just-
own. Where's my proof?
Yeah.
The fact that as a young black man growing up in this society, my parents had to tell me that I had to do things 4 times better than the Caucasian person just to survive in this country. Where's my proof?
My parents had to tell me.
Do you think that race plays a part in wealth distribution, or either a mindset that you can't or
Today?
cannot? Yeah.
No,
You don't.
no, I don't. I don't. Hey, you and I, we're proof. Why would race have anything to do with it?
Where's my proof? All of this is my strength. That I have strength in here that I can't even contain.
Black
And I
lives-
think that is a reason why I have strength in here that I can't even contain. Reason why I can't even contain.
Black
And I
lives-
think that is a reason why we have this issue with everything black people do is called have strength in here that I can't even contain. This issue with everything black people do, the protest and outrage, is because we are passionate people.
No, you're very angry people. You guys, most black people are so angry. You're at a point now that no race like you. Michelle, what do you people want?
What do I want?
Michelle,
What do I want?
Michelle, what do you people want?
What do I want?
Michelle,
When you say you people, what do you mean?
let me explain why I do that. What you don't know is that there are 2 realities in life. One is that of good and one is that of evil. So that's why I say you people, because I have to divide myself or separate myself from evil. I don't identify with angry, evil black people. Not
can I-
just the
can
white
I-
race, isn't that right? It's not just the
I
white
mean,
race, the
200
Hispanic.
years of racism.
You are running around crying racism.
I'm not
and
crying
yeah,
racism.
you haven't raised the
200
Hispanic.
years of racism.
We're not pointing the finger.
The Hispanics don't like
60
you. The blacks
years
don't
of
like.
Jim Crow.
We're not blaming white people for our downfall.
Constantly being told that we're less than.
No.
My parents had to tell me that I had to do things 4 times better.
My parents had to tell me.
Constantly being told that we're less than.
No.
That I had to do things 4 times better. I have to figure out what I'm gonna do with my hair because my texture of hair is not what America deems job appropriate.
Okay.
All this to look like
Andre.
this, you
And
perm
to
your hair,
address
you
the-
crochet your hair to get
Andre,
locks.
Andre,
but
Andre.
All this to look like this.
Yes, in LA, right? Yes, in Chicago, that if you're black, you basically will be persecuted. In Chicago, that if you're black, you basically will be persecuted. Or
Have
status.
you been discriminated against?
Yes.
By whom?
By white people. We're not blaming white people for our downfall. We're not pointing the finger. By white people.
What did they do to you? Tell me what happened to you.
They told me that I needed to wear my hair a certain way in order to be groomed.
Who told you that?
All right, a supervisor.
At your job?
Yeah.
At the time that you were applying for the job, you told them, if you pay me X amount of dollars, I would come every day and I will follow your rules, and you took the job, right? Is that right?
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
They can't hear you.
Yes.
They can't hear you, Michelle. Come on. So did your supervisor approach you about your hair once you got this job?
Be more specific in your
You said,
question.
Did your supervisor approach you about your hair once you got this job?
Be more specific in and they just made a recommendation, but they didn't say, oh, our rules prohibit you.
did they have a right to make that recommendation?
No, they didn't have a right.
Did they own the company?
No, they did not own the company.
Who owned the company?
The owner wasn't, nobody owned the company.
Somebody have to.
Nobody owned the company.
Somebody have to own the company.
Nobody, it wasn't a company.
These people can't communicate. Why'd you quit?
Because I felt that I wanted more fulfilling work.
So you quit because you wanted to be fulfilled, not because of discrimination about your hair.
Right.
You have not given me an example of you being discriminated against.